I wasn't sure if I want to do this on camera because believe it or not, it's not my strong suit. We're gonna take apart in New York, although this is a baby New York, one of the smallest ones I've seen in a while. Like I said in a previous video, I cut my own steaks here. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. We're using AAA Plus. This one I bought at Costco. I bought this on January 3rd. Has a best before date of February 26th. Today's March 3rd. Let me explain what that means. And at the time I paid $28 a kilo. That was a per case price because I bought the entire case. Today, 50 days later, we're at $35 a kilo for the same product. That's where the beef market's going these days. This is a little Costco hack. When you're buying a whole muscle, this is not on the cut steaks, only when you buy the whole piece, the whole tenderloin, the whole strip. The pack date would have been 45 days minus February 26th. This is where I kind of like to cut my steaks between 45 and 50 days. Today is day 50. We happen to be filming. So I like to cut my steaks on day 50. It's not dry aging, but wet aging in a cryovac like this does make the steaks a lot more tender. When something is too close to slaughter, or too close to the pack date, I find the steaks come out, they're not ready. They're just tougher. I could just pat this down, but I actually like to rinse it off with a bit of cold water. It's just a preference of mine. I don't think anybody does this, but it just makes it easier for me to work with after. So now we're gonna bring it over to the board. I got a nice clean towel here, and we're gonna pat her down. I gotta say, I'm really nervous to do this. You know, I gotta sit there and see if my cuts are right on camera. So that's the New York side. As you get closer to the other end, you see this this silver skin over here. That would be where the New York connects to the sirloin. So this is part sirloin. So I'm gonna start at the bottom here. So we're gonna trim anything too thick or connective. Not all of it. You know, obviously don't trim everything off. Pause. All right. We're coming back. Believe it or not, I had to nick myself. A little baby cut, but we had to clean up and get this glove over the Band-Aid. So right now we're just trimming anything excess off the bottom. If you're doing this at home, you really could literally just turn this over and start cutting steaks and trim it after. The reason I'm trimming beforehand is because I'm trying to cut net weight. I'm gonna be trying to cut, 12 to 14 ounce steaks, net weight. So I want that weight to be 12 to 14 ounces trimmed, okay? Okay. I'm gonna shave a bit of the fat off the top. There's a very small strip. There we go. I'll have to adjust, I have to deal with the sizes they have, so. Right now this is like a tough fat, silver skin kind of stuff, so this is coming off, okay? I might trim more after. And I'm not an expert at doing this, by the way. No one ever taught me. I kind of stumbled through it. Sorry, sometimes doing this kind of work and talk is a little more complicated. Not easy to do. When I cut steaks, I like to be alone. I don't like to have my other cooks around. Because I'm always doubting myself. Should I trim here? Should I not trim here? Is my cut good? And we're gonna hope our first cut is pretty good. I'm just looking at the size of the eye.
Looking a little nervous.
You do this and then have like 2-3 million people telling you you don't know how to cut a steak. So we're looking for 12 to 14. I think we're gonna be right about here. I like to use a long knife. Internet, don't kill me. Here we go. 16. Oof. Generous cut. So, all right. Now we know where we're supposed to be. So we should be a little better this time around. Okay. 12.35. If you can see, the fat cap gets a little deeper here, so there'll be a little more trim on this one. Okay. 13.8. Happy with that. So I'm not too bad. I haven't made too much of a fool of myself so far.
Thoughts on Wagyu or any other cuts?
I'm sure it's great. I think for me, it's a bit too fatty for me. You picked all the time to ask me a question. Okay. What I don't like when it comes to anything like Wagyu or Prime is that for some reason, whenever something new comes out, the other one isn't good enough. For instance, first it was AAA steaks, and then Prime came out, and then when Prime came out, at least in Canada, sorry, let's not get this confused. It's like, what, AAA is not good enough anymore? And now we have Wagyu out, and it's like, even though Wagyu and let's say Prime steaks and grass-fed and corn-fed are completely different beefs, they're like, all of a sudden that's not good anymore. Just because you have a milk-fed veal, it doesn't mean a grain-fed veal isn't fantastic. But I find that if you're not using the industry best, which sometimes is just priced out of the market, people think all of a sudden it's not good enough. That bothers me a little bit. I think we've become very snobbish on food to a certain degree. And I also don't like the trend of everything just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like the industry standard in Montreal, anyways, back then it was like a 16-ounce rib steak. Then it went to 18. Then it went to 20. Now we're serving tomahawks. It's like, how much do we need, you know? So there's a lot of great options out there, that's for sure. Probably gonna get one more cut out of this. We just started seeing the sirloin over here. She'll be okay. Right up here, there's just a touch of silver skin, you know, but it's near the top of the steak, so it's still a beautiful steak. And I'm probably gonna get maybe one more cut out of this, and I'm gonna overcut it on purpose. I know there'll be a lot of trim, so this might pass for a well done, okay? I'll only serve this for a well done, but I'm gonna overcompensate, but we don't always get to use it. We don't get a lot of well done orders. I was kind of laughing because the other day we did a video for with a steak pasta, and what we consider unusable, okay? Unusable for a steak, obviously, but we can trim around that, trim around this, grind this up for a burger, amazing. Chop it up for a stir fry, fantastic. Grind it up for a meat sauce if you want. But I mean, if you want to see how, like, look at this. This is like really tender. Like, these steaks are gorgeous. I'm cutting about 3 or 4 of these a week, which is not bad for an Italian restaurant. I'm actually, I'm a little proud of myself. I'll take tips. I'll take tips from any butcher out there. Any little tricks, any little hacks, I love to learn, but I'm still proud to serve these up. Once we cut our steaks, they go into the bag. And over here, really nifty machine. Close the lid. That's it, cryovac. Okay. This will go into our service fridges. AAA plus New York strip. This is the steak that we serve of Vivaldi. All right, moment of truth, guys. We basically seasoned up the steak, got it going, threw it on the grill.
And I wasn't recording.
You see, like I just pulled it off the grill. All right, so we have salt and pepper, Montreal steak spice, a bit of oil. You're recording this time?
Yeah.
All right, back on the grill. We're gonna bring this up to mid-rare. Just gonna put a turn on it.
Do you like fancy grilling?
Hate the lines. I'll keep moving it around. I don't really care. Left, right, flip. Crisscrosses bore me.
How many times should we flip our steak?
I have no idea. Just don't overcook the damn thing. Just gonna put a turn on it. There we go. Let's take that off. She's looking good. We're gonna let it rest a little bit, and I'll get some fries going. A little salt. We're gonna go a little bit of oregano. Some nice Parmesan cheese. Gonna squeeze a lemon.
What do you call these fries?
Freaking good. I don't know. No name for it. Okay. We'll get that on the plate. There we go. And that's a New York strip here at Vivaldi. Hope you enjoy.
Let's see the inside.
The money shot. All right, let's cut it down the middle. How's that looking? Bit more on the medium side. I overcooked it, guys. I got distracted.
Vivaldi.